I'm back on Ryan Hill for a couple of nights. The rods are finally out after a nightmare start. Went and left me landing net at home. So far, no way am I driving back up that M6 on a Friday. So I've had to go to the tackle shop and buy a new one. I'm on peg 10. I'm not seeing much. The sun keeps coming in and out. I've seen a couple in the back bay, just mulling about on top when the sun was shining, but train going past. But we'll see what happens. About 4:30 now, 5 o'clock. So we're going to have something to eat now and then see what happens. I'm actually here on my own at the moment. I think there's about 3 or 4 booked on, but there's only me here so far, so I jumped on peg 10 where I can. See you in a bit. It's about 7:30 now. Probably got half an hour left before dark. Sun's just setting over there, you see it. I've got my right hand rod out in open water, and I've just seen there's a fish just showing over that, well, more to the left of it, which is, I think it's in the shallower water. That I'm down at the bottom of like a, I won't say a burr. It's like goes across like 5-6 foot, 5, and then drops down into like 8 foot. Well, I'm down at the bottom, so I think it was more on the top of the hill. But I'm going to leave it now. Anyway, I'm not really doing anything there. And my left hand rod is just off the island. I'm going to leave that as well. See what happens. Yeah, there's like a mist forming on the water at the moment, so I think it's going to be a damp night. Might be even a thick fog in the morning. It's not showing that it's going to be fog, but it didn't show it was going to be fog last week and woke up to pea soup. So I'll leave it there now, and if I don't catch anything tonight, I'll have a good night's kip, and I shall see you in the morning. Morning. No fish last night. I think I was actually done on my left hand rod about 3 o'clock this morning. Dropped back on it. I clipped up and tried to get it back out again, but it was foggy, so it was just a pub chuck really. Did hit the clip, but I don't know where it landed. But so as soon as it come light this morning, I've redone that. I did have a line on my right hand rod, but that could have been anything. I was definitely done on my left hand rod with it being a drop back. It's still a bit misty at the moment. It's actually pretty nippy last night. I had to sleep in the sleeping bag for the first time. We'll have something to eat now and then see what happens. It's about 4 o'clock now. Still had nothing. Not actually seen anything today. It was up till about up till about 2 o'clock. Till now it was flat calm. It's been flat calm all day with the sun out, but it's I was looking on the weather app. It was showing that the wind's going to start blowing into my face tonight, pretty brisk as well, about 25 mile an hour. So I've been feeding my right hand merging ready for the wind tonight, because I'm going to put it on there. It's not right in the merge, it's about 6 or 7 foot off. It's getting about 6 foot of water there. I've not seen any fizzing on it yet, but like I said, the wind is just starting to get up now, like there's a chop on the water now. And then I've actually gone both up against the island at the moment, but I'm not even getting landers or anything, so there's nothing in there. There's nothing there, I don't think. So I'm going to put one in the open water on the spot where I had just one of the spots I had yesterday, and then this one doing the merging. See what happens. There's quite a bit of fizzing in the channel, but it's been doing that since I got here, so I presume it's just mash bubbles that, but it's permanent coming up, not all at the same place, all over the place, but yeah, see what happens. It was a blank. We're 2 weeks on there. This is a separate session, still on the same swim. When I first got here, I was looking at peg, I was stood on peg 2 for about 10-20 minutes, because right on the corner of the island there was a load of bubbles as though a fish had just crashed there, but I never saw anything else, so I carried on my water and peg 10 was free, so I threw my bucket on there. I was sat here now for probably 40 minutes. I've not seen anything, but where I did see it on the corner of the island, I seen a park strike there, so I'm presuming the first one was a park as well. So I'm going to fish here, I think, peg 10 again. The sun's out, pressure's through the roof, but we have got a bit of wind and a train. We've got a bit of wind which is blowing off my back, blowing towards peg 5, which is like a westerly, but it is due to change round tomorrow to it blowing from the south, so it will be like from my right to my left, blowing into the island. So that's the only reason really I've picked this island swim. And it's going to be strong as well. Wasp. It's going to be about 25 mile an hour blowing tomorrow into the island there, so I'm going to fish the same spot where I got done on, and then the other one is going to, instead of being at the bottom of the shelf this time, I'm going to put it up onto the top with the pressure being high. And with it being silver water, with it being wind blowing and it's like silver water, to keep getting flat spots out towards peg 5, about 30-40 yards out, which is not slicking, it's not off the bottom, it's where fish are moving on the surface, I think. But Andy the bailiff did tell me with a spot that way, so I'll give that an investigate as well today. And I've got a bait change as well, which I'll tell you about in a bit once I'm set up. So go and get I've brought a bit of gear in with me now, but I'll go and get the rest of my gear now, get changed out to my work clothes, and I'll have a catch up in a bit. See you in a bit. 6 o'clock now, no fish yet. It has been doing a few, that low pressure what we had last week, it has been doing a few fish, hence why it's absolutely rammed. Let's check the booking page. There's 9 due on. I did have one on the corner of the island and one at the top of that shelf, but the coots found the one on the island, so I've moved that now to the bottom of the shelf, so they're probably 2 rod lengths apart. One's at the top in the shallow water in about 5 foot, and the other's at the bottom in about 8-9 foot. So I'm just going to spread bait over that area now and see what happens. Wish that I got catch pen in there. It's about 7:15 now. The light's just starting to fade. The one where I moved down into the deeper water, I brought that back out again and put it back up against the island, well, just off the island, 4 or 5 foot off the island. Got it fairly locked up, just in case something does happen and give me a chance to get on it. The pressure's supposed to go sky high tonight, through the night, and then start dropping again tomorrow, so I thought, I didn't feel like leaving it in that deep water, even though it's only 8 foot. I think it would be better against the island in the 3 or 4 foot water. So if nothing happens through the night, I'll still see you in the morning. Morning. Quiet night again. The wind has changed direction. It's only a light breeze at the moment, but it's now blowing straight towards me. It's due to pick up to about 20-25 mile an hour around about dinner time. A bit of rain coming. So I feel a bit more confident when that starts happening. So it went flat calm last night. There was a full moon last night, which is probably why it's rammed. All the ones who follow the phases and stuff, and all that shite. Just had my brekkie, so I'm going to redo the rods now. I think I've got the one on the island. Coots have found that again this morning. They've not actually picked it up, but they've been diving on it. So I'm going to move that probably further along the island now into the deeper water, because the lad on peg 2 is fishing the opposite side of the bush to me, so I'll get away from that. Apart from that, dog shite. It's just gone 3 o'clock now. It's been raining steadily now for about 2, maybe 3 hours. The wind's dropped, it's gone flat calm. The one that was on the island, what the coots found, I've moved that further along, near enough in the channel. It's I'm getting 7 foot of water there. The fish has just shown in the channel, crashing, and had a quick look there. You can see all the ripples, but it was more in the middle. But apart from that, bugger all, I've not seen anybody catch anything. Just dog shite. It's just gone 7 o'clock. It's finally stopped raining, so it's pissed down all day. I've moved my rattan rod out of open water now, and it's probably 20 yards out, maybe a bit more. I've not wrapped it up. I just led it about and found a spot what felt pretty clear, and like a bit of gravel there or something. So I've left it on there, and then put quite a bit of boilie over that. I've moved it closer just because the wind's hacking into this bank now. And the one where they had in the channel up against the island, I've now moved into the centre of the channel because that fish where I saw show early on, shown again about 20 minutes later. So that's been there a few hours now, right? But I've just redone it again now. It's actually on a running rig, which I don't like running rigs, but I don't know what the bottom's like there. It feels pretty a bit of a drop, like, but so I just put it on a running rig on it with a yellow pop-up on. Coots there now. And then I've gone down with sweet corn and I've sprayed it all over the channel in the area. So hopefully anything what's moving about in between here and there, the sweet corn will stop them, and then hopefully they'll come across my boilie and then you bit. That's the plan anyway. It's just starting to rain again now. The light's fading fast. So if nothing happens through the night, I shall see you in the morning. Finally off the mark. £24 common. Beauty. It's a pity it'll come at night time because it's proper chestnut colours and it's just probably not going to show up. But well made up. Morning. Finally off the mark. Another blank at last. 23 it was. Checked the footage back and I said 24, I don't know, I'm still asleep I think. 23 back on the nose. Came on my right hand rod, the one that I moved closer in last night. I don't know what distance it is yet. I just took the rig off, had a lead about, found a spot what felt good, and then a tiny bit of Merkur elastic on. So I'll wrap that up before I go, just for future reference. My left hand rod, I've moved that out of the channel now and put it onto the bait where I've been baiting all weekend out there. So I've only got a couple of hours left now before I've got to be off. But well happy. Sort of start coming like buzzes now. Or buses, should I say. Right, see you in a bit. Everything's packed away now, just the rods to go and the bivvy's drying here at Sarnamy. I didn't tell you about the bait change. The first couple of sessions I did, I was using 10mm boilies. I did real well on them last year on 10mm boilies. But I did have a tench over them right at the beginning, but I was watching everybody else putting boilie in, and but there weren't no fish coming out. All the fish what was coming out at the time was just on zigs on floater and just the odd one off the bottom. So I decided to switch over to vertical approach. Made a big mix up of like maize, hemp, a bit of Purty blend in it, and I did throw a load of 10mm boilers in what I had left. So I've been using that for the last, well, all my blanks. And my mate was saying like, why not get back on the boiler if you're blanking, but I weren't seeing anything else. No, I mean, people were still putting boiler in and not catching, so I just kept with it. But anyway, I used the last of it last week, so I switched back over to CB4 now on like a fish meal one in a 15mm. Anyway, it's done the business this week now, so it's definitely going to be a boilie approach from now on. So it's only one fish in it, you know what I mean, that could have come over the vertical as well, that, but confidence is high. So I'll wrap it up there now, and I shall see you next week. Probably be back here now.